Ever been so bored that you decided to reorganize your closet? Well, some people do a lot more than spring cleaning on a particularly lazy Sunday. Whether it's letting your inner Picasso run wild or raising yourself an army of snowmen for your neighborhood takeover, here are 30 people with way too much time on their hands. Maybe you'll find a few ideas for yourself to kill time. Instead of calling the repairman to fix his damaged wall, this guy decided to put his Legos to good use. He ended up creating a mini version of his house inside the wall. That's a whole lot of money saved up on repairs. We all know a friend who's obsessed with cleaning, but this guy took things to an extreme when he decided to color code the ball pit. Clearly, he didn't have work that day. These guys were clearly too bored at work. It's a good thing they had some good old machines lying around for a game of tic-tac-toe. Hopefully their boss won't ever see this video. On a particularly boring Sunday, this guy decided that creating a world map out of potato chips would be the best use of his time. We have to say he did a remarkable job. Just one question though, how did he resist not eating all those chips? Ever been so bored that you thought you'd go bananas? Well, this guy decided to put his bananas to good use by showcasing his art skills. While we appreciate the adorable minions, we just hope he had a spare one to eat for lunch. No way we're ever peeling that banana. Cats hate water, but they hate flying even more. It doesn't look like the feline will be taking off to soar the skies anytime soon. Seems like that's a failed DIY project for the owner. Now, this is what we call the right use of your office supplies. Honestly, the person behind the prank might just be a genius because how else are you gonna get a paint job like that at such a cheap rate?
White. Impressive.
Of course, the only thing to do when you have dozens of egg crates lying around the house is to make a couch out of them. Just one warning, you're not gonna find it that comfortable compared to the much sleeker leather couches. Sometimes the baristas at the coffee shop really outdo themselves with the latte art. You almost feel bad for drinking it and destroying all their hard work. Same goes for those fluffy cats reaching for each other. But hey, at least you know what took so long with your order. While you were holed up in your blanket on a snowy day, this guy was out there building himself an army of snowmen, just so he could overthrow the government. He's sure as hell giving Elsa a run for her money. Stacking shopping carts can be a boring job, but not for these guys. They know exactly how to have fun, and that's through making a circle out of grocery carts around a stranger's car. Hopefully the man wasn't in a hurry to get somewhere. There are not a lot of things to do when you're squatting your guts on the toilet except for this guy who isn't short on ideas. He decided to braid an entire sheet of toilet paper to pass the time. While we appreciate his craftsmanship, we feel bad for the person going in after him. Hopefully he restocked the toilet paper. Braiding is cool, but this guy thought of something even better. He decided to make a giant toilet paper fort. 10,000 rolls later, he even managed to get his PS4 inside. Guess we know why the grocery store is out of stock. As for these guys, they decided that using their pencils to make notes was way too boring. So why not make a tower out of them? That's a study break too long. Hopefully the boys get something out of it. Maybe a spot in the Guinness World Book of Records? Building pencil towers is not all students do when they're bored in college. Sometimes they decide to duct tape their friend to the door, and that too in the shape of a mermaid. Hopefully that explains the duct tape shortage on campus. Next up, we have this guy who decided to make a t-shirt out of $1. Guess we know what all the employees are doing working long hours at the bank. Bank employees aren't the only ones bored out of their minds. People working at the cash register share a similar fate, which is why it's a good thing they have hundreds of coins at their disposal, because that means they get to do this. Who thinks of de-seeding a strawberry? Someone clearly has all the time in the world. Almost everyone has played with an Etch-a-Sketch during their childhood, but can everyone boast of making art that would put Picasso to shame? This Potterhead decided to write out the entire first chapter of the first book under their staircase. After all, Harry did live under a staircase. Instead of buying a regular ball from the shop, this guy decided to make his very own with rubber bands. We just have one question: how does he plan to play catch with the 1,000-pound ball? These couple of bored office workers decided to take a break from the office routine by making post-it murals. How many work hours do you think they ended up spending on the project? Well, at least their boss knows why there are no more post-its around the office anymore. This guy makes portraits in a medium of his own using dice. God knows how long it takes him to figure out the placement of each dice. The man definitely deserves some appreciation for being this patient with a project. He's not the only artist on the block wowing people with his mad skills. This next guy spends hours painting illusions in the jungles, all for messing with some hikers. Perhaps his time was better spent getting a lap or two. Good thing Simon here knows exactly how to get in some exercise and make some art at the same time. He's known for his impressive wintry works of art. Managing 5,000 steps an hour, it's all the work of his snowshoes. Next up, we have Ed China, who really takes being a couch potato to a whole new level. Ed has built himself a sofa car, which basically means he can go for a drive without ever leaving the comfort of his beloved sofa. Known as the Dirty Artist, Scott Wade knows how to find beauty in the ugly. He creates jaw-dropping art out of dust on cars, almost making you feel bad for taking it to the car wash. These guys' idea of fun is to make giant cup towers. Too bad the entire thing collapsed before they can get their name in the Guinness Book of World Records. He probably should have approached it from another angle. Alright, which of these guys impressed you the most with their hidden talents? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to TrendJoINT, and we'll see you in the next one.